Hi everybody. Okay, so mine are kind of disappointed today, but it's gonna get a little more sunny next week, but I'll get there. Okay, so somehow they're stranded in paradise, and so they all want to go back home though now, and I think Cain is trying to keep them there so that they're off balance and you know so that he can manipulate them into whatever he wants to do. But then the side stories are, he and Lily were married and have kids and everything. So Lily is trying to move on with Damien at this point, and Kane doesn't like it, and she told him where to go, and yeah, so that was kind of interesting and funny for a minute. And then Phyllis kind of had the same reaction I did because everybody else is complaining about how they're trapped there and they don't want to be there. And she's like, oh, come on. We're trapped here with like the best food and drink and everything else. And you want to complain about it? So, yeah. Um, so then let's see what else. Michael and Lauren, I guess, were there for a day and left, which is really odd. And then Nick was calling Kane out about how he doesn't trust him, and the fact that he had to hide who he was doesn't make anybody else trust him. That kind of stuff. And then let's see what else. Oh, Phyllis and Sharon felt like they were back in the where Martin was doing the experiment with them. So that's why it's not good for them to feel trapped because of that. Um, and that was pretty much it for today. Just a bunch of people stuck um, where they don't want to be, apparently. And then we get into the spoilers for next week. And I don't mind the spoilers because you never know what day anything is going to happen. So it's not like, okay, this is going to happen on Monday, Tuesday, and, down the line. So, all right. They finally figured out what to do with Cole. And it's going to be sad because they show him in a hospital room, in a hospital bed. And he's talking to Victoria and Claire and saying that, well, I'm glad you're going to be able to be here. And she says, Claire says, why? And he says to say goodbye. So I guess they're getting rid of the Cole character. I don't know. Which is funny because I just talked about it yesterday and I said, what are they going to do with him now? I mean, he's kind of a dad and, they already give him a love story. So where else is there to go? Um, and then, of course, that's going to affect Claire. So then I wonder if Kyle is going to be there to support her because right now he hasn't been because he's been there with everybody else, with Audra trying to play her game on him. But will he be there when Claire really needs them is the question. Or will Holden somehow pop up and be able to save the day? That's the question for next week. Also, with Holden, because Holden took over Damien's job, and Damien worked for Kane right before he was Kane, and so they had some kind of secret. I'm guessing it's a secret conversation about does everybody still everybody doesn't know, right? And Holden says, "Yeah, don't worry, your secret is safe." And I'm like, "What else is there to be secret about?" So I don't know. There's more to unravel there. Um, on another front with Kane, if they don't go the Lily and Kane route, which I hope they don't, that leaves Kane open to have a romance possibly with someone. And you may think it's kind of weird, but I think he would be a good fit for Phyllis because, okay, number one, Phyllis is fiery. She has always been fiery. Okay. Number two, she doesn't put up with any BS. Number three, she has a sense of adventure to a point, so that could feed off each other. Those are three top reasons they could fit together. I think it would be a nice pair, actually. It'd be different than Nick and Phyllis again. I just want something different at this point. Um, and then we see Devon next week talk about, well, I wonder why he still has us here. And he says maybe it's just a game and maybe he knows exactly what he's doing. So I think Devon is awesome. But so there's a lot of stuff we have to uncover for next week. So I can't wait for next week, actually. Okay, bye, everybody.